I ain't really had nothing to talk about, and I really wanted to do a video, and I always got something to talk about, but I was like, I didn't want to be meaningless. But I decided that I would take this book and explore some new words with you guys. And if you guys come in with comments, that'll give me something to speak on, because I do want to create a little content right now. So I'm gonna do that and then carry forth with my beautiful day. But before doing so, I'm gonna share these words with you that I'm gonna discover right now. Random House College Thesaurus. Let's see. And I've been like wanting to give shout outs to like painters and people who did picture works weren't noticed. So yesterday I discovered a guy named Stringwall, Adam Stringwell or something. Um, what looks to be a young black guy, but he's got to be older because his illustration of an artwork that I got in a pamphlet down there. I took it out of a frame that I redid for my baby girl, and it was a nice piece of art. And I was like, you know what? People like artwork that come in picture frames when you buy it at the store. Some people don't actually put their own picture in, and they leave the art in there. So I never throw away a picture frame if it has art that's salvageable. So anyway, I looked up the person who did the painting, and his name was Adam Stringwell, and he's from like Illinois or something like that. So I said, you know what? For now, when I come across these old books and these things of knowledge, I'm gonna share it. Definitely can't discard it. Usually I donate it, but we're gonna share it and learn it together. Let's see what interesting word I want to see. Let's look at some of these words. You got abandon, which is the first word of the thesaurus. Abase, abashed. Let me see. Abase means the Bible says that the proud man shall be abased, humble, bring low, cast down, informal, put down, bad mouth, bring down a peg, cut down to size, humiliate, disgrace, dishonor, defame, discredit, belittle, malign, vilify, degenerate. That's a word I'm gonna have to look up itself. Vitiate, downgrade, degrade, demean, cheapen, devaluate, besmirch. I like that word. Besmirch. Debase, shame, mock, modify, mm, abash, adjective. He was abashed at forgetting his wife's birthday, embarrassed, ashamed. What is that? Chagrined, mortified, humiliated, humbled, self-conscious, dismayed, taken back, bewildered. I like that, bewildered. I ain't heard that in a long time. Confused, dumbfounded, nonplussed. Wow, nonplussed. Disconcerted. I like that. Disheartened, daunted, confounded, phased, shy, bashful. I don't like how shy is synonymous with it, but I guess embarrassment would cause being shy. Bashful, which is synonymous with shy. Cowed, I guess, which is like synonymous with coward, even though it say cowed. So I have to learn what cowed could, how it could be used as an adjective for being embarrassed. Uh, o- Overall, subdued, crushed, intimidated. Then you have, let me see, abate. The wind abated after the storm decreased, diminish, reduce. So abate means to reduce. Okay. Abbey. The monks live in their abbey. Oh yeah. Like you hear about French abbeys. The monks live in their abbey in the mountains. Westminster Abbey. Okay, yeah. Westminster Abbey is in London. Monastery, friary, cloister, priory, hermitage, cenobie, convent, nunnery, seminary, church, cathedral, chapel. So to live in a cathedral. Oh, my, okay. Abbreviate. You can abbreviate the word Mr. as Mr. Mr. As time was short, he abbreviated his visit. I like that. Man, listen, man. Baby girl, our relationship has come to an abbreviation. Ooh. That'll be good. Anyway, let me see. His visit short. I gotta put that in my notes. I gotta pause that. Alright, let's see. The current edition is an abbreviation of an originally longer work, shortened form, short form, shortening, condensed form, reduced form, compressed form, contracted form, cut down form, reduction, contraction. Let me see. Reduction, contraction, diminution, abridgment, condensation, compression, abstraction, digest, synop. Oh, so a synopsis is a cut down, abbreviated version of something. Okay. All right. Ooh, I like the way I word. No, I ain't gonna write that now. And full form, written out form, lengthening, extending, extension, elongation, stretching, stretching out, drawing out, expansion, enlargement, amplification. I like that. Increase, increasing, augmentation. Oh, so augmentation and amplification. Okay. So breast augmentation is breast increasing and breast amplification. Okay. Abdicate. Edward the See, I always sucked at that. Can somebody in the chat help me with this? I always sucked at Roman numerals. Hold up, get this shit though. What's up on my camera? Hold up, let me clean this camera off. I need somebody to help me with this Roman numeral right here. Pay all this money for a phone. This bitch don't want to focus. Anyway, it says Edward VII. What number is that? Can somebody tell me what number that is? But anyway, Edward the I'm gonna just say third since it's three of England abdicated to marry a commoner. He abdicated his throne. Hi, said hi. Anybody listening? Can y'all help me with what V and those three I's is? Capital I's. Is that the third or whatever? Or no, the V got to be a number in itself. I'm reading Random House College Thesaurus. All right, so we're just going over interesting words and learning. Abate. The criminal was aided and abated by his brother. Encourage, support, endorse, sustain, back, give moral support to sanction, advocate, promote, advance, uphold, urge, on, goad, spur, incite, instigate, lead on, egg on, assist, help. It's funny how all that could be tied in, egging on and helping. Abeyance. The building project will be held in abeyance until spring. Postponement, suspension, intermission, remission, deferral, adjournment, discontinuance, inaction, dormancy, latency, pause, delay, cessation, dang, that's a nice word. Quiescence? Am I pronouncing that right? Quiescence. I meant Quiescence. Yeah. Quiescence. Recess. Hiatus. Shout out the hiatus road. Yo, take a hiatus. Waiting period and holding pattern. In cold storage. On ice. On back burner. Abhor. Nature abhors a vacuum. She abhors snakes. Detest, hate, loathe, dislike, despise, disdain, scorn, shun, abominate, execrate, feel aversion toward, be revolted by, I was just about to say repulse. Find repulsive. Shudder at, recoil at, shrink from, regard with repugnance, view with horror, eschew, can't stand, can't stomach, be nauseated by. Let me see, you got abide, abject. The old couple lived in abject poverty, hopeless, inescapable, complete, thorough, wretched, miserable, deplorable, terrible, horrible. The soldier deserted like an abject coward, lacking courage, spiritless, cringing, groveling, contemptible, despicable, vile, base, mean, low, ignoble, sordid. Abjure. Pacifism abjures the use of deadly force. Dang. I'm gonna have to get me a highlighter. Anyway, I do that on my own time. Oh, dang, that was dope. Pacifism abjures the use of deadly force. Disclaim, disallow, repudiate. Repudiate. Like a repudiated mob boss. Disavow, reject. Some of the prisoners abjured their heresies and live, renounce, abandon, relinquish, desert, give up, forswear, recant. Let's see, ablution. After ablutions in the river, the bowly man continued on his way. Ceremonial, washing, ritualistic. Let me go back. Ablution. After ablutions in the river, the holy man continued on his way. Okay, so he had ablutions, ceremonial visits in the river, washing, ritualistic washing, bathing, cleansing, purification. He had no time for his morning ablutions, washing, bathing, cleaning, lavation. Ooh, that's dope. Ooh, I don't take baths. I lavation. That's tight word. Abnegation. In a mood of abnegation, he gave up sweets and midnight snacks. Oh, I already know what this gonna be. See, I'm the type, like, if you give me a word and you put it in the sentence, almost even if I never knew what's synonymous with it, I could probably guess what it's meaning. Like, so it says, in the mood of abnegation, he gave up sweets and midnight snacks. I'm gonna just name it before I even try to take it. I'm gonna take a guess. So I'm gonna say abnegation is a sudden urge. I'm gonna say it's being repulsive. It's being, dare I say, I don't want to say instinctive, but instinctive is repulsive if you act fast. It's being random. It's being, I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to brainstorm synonyms real quick. It's being erratic. It's being yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So let me see. In a mood of abnegation, he gave up sweets and midnight snacks. Now this is what it is. Self-denial, sacrifice, renunciation, relinquishment, surrender. Damn, I was totally off. Resignation, giving up, eschewal, forbearance, forbearing, abstinence, temperance, continence, rejection, refusal. That's tight word. Abnormality. A club foot is an abnormality that can often be corrected by surgery. Deformity, malformation, irregularity, aberration, aberrance, anomaly, deviation, perversion, oddity, curiosity, peculiarity, idiosyncrasy. Wow, that's new. Eccentricity, unconformity. Aboriginal. The Indians were the aboriginal people of America, native, indigenous, original, endemic. Auto. Ch- Woof. They stumped me with that one. And I wish y'all could talk through this so I could pronounce. It's Auto Chtonous. Auto Chahunus. Earliest. First. Ancient. Primordial. Prime. No. Primeval. No. I'm mispronouncing this word too. Primitive, but this one is it's like spelling prime, but it got a VAL at the end. Pre pre Primeval. I'm gonna just pronounce it Primeval. Primitive, primary, prime, and then let me see. And then I guess the opposite would be alien, foreign, immigrant, imported, exotic, late, recent, subsequent, successive, modern. Aborigine. The Australian Aborigines still hunt with spears. Original. Inhabitant. Primitive. Inhabitant. Indigenous person. Native. Aboriginal. Opposite. Aliener. Foreigner. Immigrant. Newcomer. Late. Arrival. Johnny come lately. That's funny. Oh, that's abortion. Her pregnancy ended. No, let's go to abort. Abort. Cows with Baines disease often abort their calves. Miscarry. Terminate the pregnancy of. The astronauts aborted the space flight when their oxygen began to run low. Terminate. End. Halt. Stop. Call off. Fail. Fail to develop fully. The opposite would be give birth, bear, deliver, carry through, see through, conclude, complete, finish, execute, perform, affect, achieve. Abortion. Her pregnancy ended in an abortion. Miscarriage, termination of pregnancy. The attempt to redesign the airplane was an abortion failure. Was an abortion failure. Unsuccessful. Hold on, let me read that part again. The attempt to redesign the airplane was an abortion. Never heard it used like that. Failure. Unsuccessful attempt. Fruitless attempt. Fiasco. Disaster. Halting. Calling off. Ending. Termination. The opposite. Childbirth. Parturition. Giving birth. Delivery. Success. Successful. Completion. Realization. Achievement. Abortive. Efforts to raise the sunken ship prove abortive. Fruitless. Useless. Unsuccessful. Unproductive. Inefficacious. Bootless. Sterile. Ineffective. Profitless. Unavailing. Love unavailing. Vain. Ineffectual. Love ineffectual. Futile. Worthless. Unfruitful. Unprofitable. Unrewarding. Non-viable. Definitely love non-viable, and that's used a lot in law. And the opposite would be successful, fruitful, profitable, rewarding, productive. Abound. Our garden abounds with roses. Tulips abound in Holland. Speaking of that, tulips abound in Holland because they had food shortages back in the days, and since they had food shortages, they learned many ways to cook and eat tulips. So that's why Holland has so many tulips, because they had food shortages back in the days, and they make so many different soups out of tulips and stuff like that to this day. Teas, wine, all type of stuff out of tulips. So that's off subject, but that's what that's in reference to. So abound. Our garden abounds with roses. Tulips abound in Holland. Team, overflow, spill, over, be flooded, be filled, have plenty of, luxuriate, be well supplied, be rich in, swarm, run wild, proliferate, superbound, exist, superbound, exist in great numbers, be plentiful, flourish, thrive, be numerous, informal, gush, about face. The senator did an about face on his support of tax cuts. Reversal, right about, isn't this true? A reversal, right about, turnaround, tergiversation. Ooh, wow. Tergiversation? That's deep. Reverse, turnabout, switch shift, French, vote face, change of heart, disavow, recantation, retraction, above board, adjective. All of his criticism seems fair and above board. Candid, open, honest. Oh, I got my hand over the damn phone. Shit, I ain't know about to tell me nothing. My bad, y'all. Above board. All of his criticism seems fair and above board. Candid, open, honest, truthful, forthright, straightforward, sincere, frank. No, sincere, frank, straight, square dealing, plain dealing, straight shooting, undissembling, under up and up, square, foursquare, guileless, ingenuous, artless, blunt, direct. Wow, artless? Okay. Blunt, direct, plain, unconcealed. Love that. Unconcealed. When I meet people, I like them to be unconcealed. Now listen, this is so crazy right here. Oh no, that's abracadabra. I want to know if so you know what, real quick, hold up. See, they ain't got a word that I grew up off of. One of the first words I remember ever learning when I was like, I mean, I knew words, but I'm talking about words, was absurdo. And absurdo, from my understanding, is supposed to be something that is so absurd that is of absurdity. So that's like saying it's so stupid, it's stupid. So it's like absurdo. That was one of the first words because it was one of the first words you see in the dictionary. But this is a thesaurus anyway. So what's next? Let's see. I'm looking for interesting words. Absent, absolutely abstemious. His abstemious habits allowed him few pleasures. Abstinent, ascetic, austere, temperate, continent, non-indulgent. That's me. Teetotal, self-denying, sparing, self-disciplined, most definitely. Abstemious, no, abstent, no, abstentious, abstentious. Okay. Opposite, self-indulgent, abandoned, undisciplined, uncontrolled, hedonistic. Heathens, you heathens. Hedonistic, profligate, licentious, unrestrained, immoderate. Let's see. Academic. He remembered his academic days fondly. School, scholastic, educational, collegiate, university. A good historian must have an academic mind, scholarly, studious, learned, educated, erudite, pedantic, Bookish. One brother went to an academic high school, the other to a trade school. General, liberal arts, scholastic, college preparatory, non technical, non vocational, non specialized. How to talk to a Martian is rather an academic question. Theoretical, hypothetical, abstract, moot. You often hear moot, which is basically impossible, right? If it's hypothetical, or well, like you said, in theory. So yeah, that's the best way. Abstract, moot, speculative, conjectural, sup- suppositional, presumptive, not practical, remote, ivory tower. The opposite, non-scholarly, non-studious, studious, unpedantic, uneducated, unschooled, untaught, unleathered, unlearned. Ooh, unlearned. Dang, that kind of burns. Unlearned. Imagine that. Technical, vocational, trade, specialized, practical, realistic, immediate, common sense, everyday, functional, ordinary, matter of course, and matter of fact. Let's see, what's another interesting word? Let's look at accessible. A doctor must have a telephone accessible at all times, available, ready, at hand, on hand, handy, within reach, nearby, obtainable. This goes for couples and relationships. If you ever want to argue or make the argument with your opposite as to why they should be accessible, here are a few arguments. A doctor must have a telephone accessible at all times, available, ready at hand, on hand, handy, within reach, nearby, obtainable, attainable, reachable, possible. The principal was always accessible to the students. Available. Here's a big one. Approachable. Mm. Reachable. See, I'm gonna break down that a little bit. Just because someone is accessible doesn't make them approachable. So yeah, they tie into it, but you have to be approachable. That's a big word in there. And the opposite of accessible would be unavailable. And I would imagine unapproachable. But unavailable, far off, unobtainable, impossible. Phew, met them kind of women. Beyond reach, hidden, hidden away, secreted. Well, shoot, I might be inaccessible. Unapproachable, unavailable, inaccessible, unreachable, standoffish, forbidding. Yeah, I'm inaccessible. Um, let's see. That was pretty cool right there. Dang, that's a complicated one. See, I like the words that. Let me see. Assimilate. No, is that assimilate? Acclimate. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Adjust and all. Okay. Let's get to it. Dang, that's kind of short too. Acclimate. In a few days, you'll be acclimated to the cold weather. Get used to, accustom, adapt, adjust, reconcile. Hmm. Okay. I like how reconcile tied into acclimate. Habituate. Habituate. Become seasoned to, accommodate, ignore. Accolade. The Nobel Prize is the highest accolade a writer can receive. Award, honor, tribute, prize, trophy, decoration, citation, testimonial, praise, compliment, commendation, acclaim, recognition, admiration. Let's see. for accomplishment. I want to try this one right here. It's kind of accretion. The coral reef was built up by accretions over thousands of years. Increase, addition, supplement, increment, augmentation, rise, acclimation, accrual, accrual, growth, extension, expansion, enlargement, amplification. The opposite, loss, decrease, di- damn, diminution? No, diminution, diminution. Cause it's crazy because my tone want to say diminishing, but it's not diminishing. It's diminution. Di- Diminution. Dimin. I don't. Diminution. Shrinkage. Reduction. I'm gonna have to go to that. Um, Accrue. I like that. Interest on money in a savings account accrues regularly. Accumulate. Accumulate. No, John got me talking crazy. Okay. Accrue. Interest on money in a savings account accrues regularly. Accumulate. Collect. Build up. Amass. Pile up. Add up. Grow. Increase. Opposite. Dwindle. Decrease. Diminish. Lessen. Wane. Dissipate. Dribble away. Dribble away. People be dribbling away cash. Let's see. Uh, Acquaintance. He's not really a friend, just an acquaintance. Person slightly known. Distant friend. We had a brief acquaintance with her a while back. Friendship, relationship, association, dealings. 3. The school's curriculum stress acquaintance with the science. Familiarity, awareness, knowledge. Convergent. No. No, it's not convergence. That's conversance. Conversance. Like conversations. Okay, conversance. Okay. Cognizance. The opposite. Stranger. Good good friend. Wait a minute. A stranger is a good friend? That's a terminology. You could call a stranger a good friend. Intimate. Bosom bosom buddy. Bosom buddy. Bosom buddy. That's funny as shit. Oh man, I'm gonna keep it PG. Unfamiliarity, ignorance, acquiesce. I don't like the ideal, but I will acquiesce to it. Consent, agree, assent, accede, allow. How to yield, submit, capitulate. Oh man, these is things that helps relationships when a person. First of all, it only helps to use this speech if you're speaking to a person and it's not going to fall on deaf ears and they can acquiesce with you. So if you were able to use these things that's synonymous with these words, then I think it'll help a relationship because let's just say, for instance, right, you were in a misunderstanding with your spouse and you said to her, I don't like the idea, sweetheart, but I will acquiesce to it. And that's what I'm gonna start doing with these two. I'm gonna take them and use them in my own sentences. But you're saying to your spouse, I don't like your idea, but I consent, I agree, I assent, I accede, I allow, how to, I bow to your ideal, I yield to your ideal, my love. I submit, I capitulate, I give in, I admit to your love, I concede to your idea, I grant your idea, I comply, concur, conform, fall in with, resign oneself, reconcile oneself. The opposite of not agreeing with your, god damn this freaking that. uh, not agreeing with your spouse would be resist her idea, fight her idea, contest her idea, refuse her idea, balk at her idea, veto her idea, protest her idea, object, disagree her idea, dissent, demur her idea. Wouldn't that help a relationship to know the difference of acquiesce and the opposite? Let's see, acquisition. When I hear acquisition, all I think about is companies buying out companies. This painting is the museum's most recent acquisition, acquirement, procurement, and that's used in probate court and stuff like that. Possession, property, gain, purchase price. Leonardo devoted his life to the acquisition of knowledge, most definitely. Chris developed his life to the acquisition of knowledge, attainment, obtainment, achievement, acquirement, procurement, gain, acquisitive, adjective. She is an acquisitive person. And that's crazy because I always pronounced it inquisitive my whole life. Acquisitive. She is an acquisitive person, always wanting things, convacious, grasping, greedy, avaricious, possessive, materialist. Oh no, maybe no, my bad. I was right then. Inquisitive, how I used to use it, is right. This is something else. This is acquisitive or acquisitive, which is she is an acquisitive person, always wanting. Damn, that's oof. Let me go back. Y'all ain't hear that. Let me. Why this phone won't focus on the word? Maybe I gotta zoom in or something. That's what I gotta do. That's what's been messing me up the whole time learning this, y'all. She is an acquisitive person, always wanting things, convacious, grasping, greedy, avaricious, possessive, materialistic, selfish, opposite, self denying, abstemious, non possessive, aru. What? Am I reading that right? Truest, atrustic, generous, acquit, acquit. The jury The jury acquitted the defendant of all charges, declare not guilty, declare innocent, clear, exonerate, vindicate, exculpate, absolve, let off, discharge, release, relieve, reprieve, deliver, liberate, pardon, set free, exempt, excuse. 2. A gentleman must acquit himself well in any situation. Conduct, behave, comport, act. The opposite would be charge, indict, blame, convict, declare, guilty, condemn, damn, doom. Let's see, acrid. The burning rubber gave off acrid smoke, caustic, harsh, sharp, bitter, burning, stinging, irritating, biting, pungent, smelly, foul smelling, malodorous. A political cartoonist must have an accurate sense of humor. Harsh, sharp, biting, bitter, nasty, acrimonious. Let me see. Vitriolic, acid. And see, look, that's funny because when you say it like that, you have to say acid rather than acid. Acid. Sarcastic, ironic, satirical. The opposite would be sweet, pleasing, fragrant, aromatic, kindly, gentle, sweet, sweet natured, good-natured, benign, compassionate, acrimonious. You know, if all y'all done heard that recently a lot, and when people speak, you like Stephen A. used that word a lot, acrimonious. You may not like my decision, but don't be acrimonious about it. Sarcastic. So if somebody tell you they don't mean to be acrimonious, they saying they don't mean to be sarcastic, spiteful. So you could tell your woman, hey babe, I don't mean to be acrimonious, spiteful, rancorous, bitter, peevish, testy. And these are the things that end relationships. Bitter, peevish, testy, ill-natured, nasty, slang word, bitchy, venomous, vitriolic, caustic, corrosive, sour. I'm gonna use a new word that ain't in there, toxic, cutting, biting, splenetic, irascible, no, irascible. I don't know. I'm about to finish this up though. It's been fun. I like this. I think somebody gonna benefit. Like this one of the things I think of age fun like wine, like somebody could come back and really like I know I'm gonna be doing it myself coming back and taking study. Let me see. Addendum. The report has an addendum clarifying certain points. Added section, supplement, addition, condensal, postscript, appendage, afterthought, attachment. Love that. Let's see. Matter of fact, let's look at addict. Addict. Addicts, number one. Addicts must be identified and treated at once. Drug addict, slang, junkie, user, head freak. No, user, head, freak, dope fiend. Number two, she's an opera addict, devotee, fan, adherent, habitual, acolyte, votary, slain, nut, hound, buff. Don't addict yourself to sweets. Give habitually. Yield excessively. Surrender, indulge, in, submit. Slang, hook, turn on. The opposite of addict. Withdraw. Break the habit. Slang, kick the habit. Renounce, give up, eschew. Addiction. His addiction to drugs nearly ruined his life. Addictedness, obsession, enslavement, fixation, enthrallment, mania, compulsion, craze, fetish, quirk, hang up, preoccupation, alcohol, alcohol, I could always get it out, alcoholism, I was about to say dysotopia, but dipsomania, barbitourism, cocaineism. I didn't know that was a word. Cocaineism. Did y'all know that was a word? Somebody gonna put that in the song, ain't it? Cocaineism. That's a real word. Morphinism is a real word. Let's see. Addition. Addition is taught before subtraction. Mathematical. Summation, totaling, counting up, summation, reckoning, enumeration. The addition of a baby to the household changed our lives. The addition of a porch will increase the value of the house. Adding, including, encompassing, embracing, joining, adjoining, annexing, appending, attaching, extending, increasing. Opposite, subtraction, subtracting, removing, removal, detaching, detachment, decrease, reduction, deduction, lessening, diminution. Diminution. I'm gonna have to look. I'll keep seeing that word keep coming up. And we got three more I'm gonna choose, and that's gonna be that. Matter of fact, let's go to the B's. Let's do a B. I'm gonna get an interesting word These gonna be the last three. I want like something. All right, this is a new word. Bawdy. I don't think nobody ever used bawdy. The old. Let me see. Where we at? Let's get this bitch to fall. Okay. The old drinking song was bawdy, but amusing, earthy, lusty, risque, ribald, indecent, coarse, gross, licentious, off color, blue, suggestive, sexual, sexy, indecorous, immodest, improper, indelicate, vulgar, lewd, dirty, raunchy. The opposite, decent, modest, delicate, clean. So she got a bawdy video. She a bawdy. She a bawdy. Oh Lord. Let's see. My goodness. Like music would carry on forever. We got so many words that's synonymous. And just like, oh man, this is crazy. Uh okay, here go the second word of the final three. Colloquial. The politician's colloquial language endeared him to small town voters. Folksy, homespun, homie. And homie, look, you see how homie can be used? Like, homie really not a ghetto word. Like, if that's your homie, right? People will look at all like, he's ghetto, that's his homie. But no, that person may be homespun and folksy. Think about it. A person that's a folksy person that's easy to get along with can easily be suggested as a homie. And that's where that word come from without even knowing that. Ain't that song? Homie. Chatty, which I am. Homie. Ordinary. Vernacular. Idiomatic. Now that's going to be my last word because I want to know what idiomatic is. Common. Everyday. Workday. Plain. Informal. Casual. Oh, shit. Pardon me. This is kind of embarrassing. What the world? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read it. I had to just read it myself because that was crazy. The politician's colloquial language endeared him to small town voters. Folksy, homespun, homey, chatty, ordinary, vernacular, idiomatic, common, everyday, workday, plain, informal, casual, unsophisticated, conversational, familiar. The opposite, formal, sophisticated, literary, cultured, refined. And now I gotta go look up idiomatic, and that's gonna be that. Let's see, idiomatic. Please have idiomatic, because I done reused it so much. Oh look, they had grotesque. I wanna go off subject real quick. Grotesque. These grotesque statues are relics of prehistoric times, distorted, deformed, odd shaped, misshapen, contorted, unnatural, fantastic, weird, bizarre, fanciful, strange, outlandish, odd, peculiar, eccentric, incongruous, wild, and I guess incongruous would be incongruent, wild, extravagant, exotic, rococo, baroque. She never appreciated his grotesque humor, outlandish, absurd, odd, distorted, fantastic, antic, wild, extravagant, weird, bizarre, preposterous, slang, far out, way out. The opposite of grotesque would be well proportioned, graceful, classic, realistic, natural, naturalistic, familiar, routine, average, standard, normal, typical, unimaginative, down to earth. And lastly, we're gonna get to the let me say idio. Come on, you got idiotic. I'm gonna need that idiom. What was the name of that word? Idiomacy or something? ID. Come on. You're gonna use the word 100 times. Alright, we're just gonna get to all forms of idiot then. Let's see. And it's so crazy how aligned it is to ideology. Let's start from ideology. Ideology. Communist ideology is impossible for individualists to accept. Set of beliefs, body of concepts, principle, ideas, doctrine, theory, dogma, program, rationale, ethos, political philosophy, idiocy. Idiocy. Idiocy can be congenital or caused by some early childhood disease. Cretinism, Mongolianism. It would be idiocy to antagonize such an influential politician. Folly, senselessness, stupidity, absurdity, foolishness, fool, foolhard, what? Foolhardiness, fatuity, abject, silliness, inanity, asinity, asinity. Ooh, damn, you gotta have a tongue for that. Now I gotta drink some water for that. Asinity, sheesh. Feel like I'm a kid again. Hold up. Damn. Asininity. 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 That shit don't even sound like I'm talking English. Asininity. Am I pronouncing this right? Asinity. Asinity. God damn it. That's how we pronounce the asinity, and it's almost like a hell of a name. Asinity. Inanity, asinity. That's just what it is. Insanity, madness, lunacy, utter, rashness, suicide, opposite, common sense, sanity, wisdom, sagacity, judiciousness, idiom. Foreigners often have trouble with idioms like take a powder. An idiom is a phrase, characteristic expression, unique grammatical or semantic construction. Okay, so let's take it back again. Foreigners often have trouble with idioms like take a powder, phrase, characteristic expression, unique grammatical or semantic construction. The play suffers in the translation from French into the Spanish idiom. The symphony is written in the modern jazz idiom. Language, mode of expression, characteristic, style, parlance, speech, colloquialism, localism, dialect, argot, patois, which is funny because patois is what Jamaicans speak. So I guess they call it patois because patois is of the idiom. Vernacular, jargon, slang, lingo, brogue, idiosyncrasy, Wearing earmuffs in and out of doors is one of her idiosyncrasies, peculiar trait, quirk, unusual, characteristic, unusual habit, peculiarity, anomaly, oddity, mannerism, eccentricity, distinction. Well, I guess I'm eccentric and have a distinction in personal mark, so that's idiosyncrasy. So I'm an idiosyncrasy no. How could I use that in that? I would call it idiosyncratic. It gotta be a word, idiosyncratic. It only makes sense if I wanted to be, if I had the distinction of idiosyncrasy, and I can't say I'm an idiosyncrasy because it doesn't make sense to formulate a sentence as such that make me idiosyncratic. I would believe. Anomaly, oddity, mannerism, eccentricity, distinction, personal mark. Idiot. An idiot has a mental age of 3 or 4 years. And this is the part that's like, ain't gonna lie, this shit'll bring tears to your eyes, cause like you really do have to. I'm gonna tell you something about profane language and cussing people out, or so-called cursing people out. You can scorn people with your tone and your temperament and what you. I'm gonna turn it around real quick just to make a point. You can scorn people with your temperament and how you say something. It ain't. It's like it ain't even necessarily what you say. It's how you say it or how it comes off. But also, if you use a profane language, then you trying to use an adjective to express your emotions, but also you doing it from a low place. You doing it to dispirit a person, disenfranchise a person. So it's like, so funny all these words is running through my head. I could barely think right now. But I say that to say I myself got to do a better job. But I always try, for the most part, and I'm in full. I'll put it like this: I'm in full understanding of the word idiot. I would prefer. I have in my life mostly tried to. If I said a so-called bad word to somebody, whether it be, I ain't cursed this whole chat, I don't believe, so I'm trying to not say any of those words. Whether it be FN or PH, or you just gotta guess what these abbreviations is. But point that I'm making is if 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 I had made those references, I would have rather said it before the idiot word, because when I found out from a great friend, I used to have a picture hanging up on the Western name from one of my best friends. I read her paper from the doctors, and it was showing actual intellectual levels. And I never knew idiot was an actual, just like you got the word genius, and that's actually on the IQ scale. Well, idiot is on the opposite of what a genius is. It's on the IQ. It's an actual formal word. So, and it's telling you right here that before I finish reading that part, that it references the age, the frame of 3 or 4 years old. An adult stuck at a 4-year-old mind. It's just so sad. You feel me? It like I ain't finna cry about it on the Western lane, but when I be on my private time, breaking nigga down, that type of shit for adults at that level. But I say that to say, so I'm just careful with the word idiot. That's all I wanted to say about that. But anyway, let me finish what I was doing. So let's see. An idiot has a mental age of 3 or 4 years, helplessly, feeble-minded person, mental defective, cretin. The fire started because some idiot ignored the no smoking sign. Foolish person, fool, simpleton, half-wit, dope, moron, dope, ninny, ass, blockhead, damn fool, nitwit, dimwit, nincompoop. Goddamn, fuck. These people, why they gotta associate all that with, like, so let me say, like, these books educate you like a mug, but you gotta always know, like, these are scholastic people that sat in a think tank and put this together, and it's awesome. You can learn a lot, but you gotta differentiate that. If you just told me an idiot has the mind of a 3 or 4 year old, would you tell a 3 or 4 year old they're moronic, feeble minded, embellic, stupidity, clumsy, careless, ridiculous, rattlebrain, addle? Like that's a score. Imagine you got in an argument with somebody and you just went on a tear for this long. Well, it start. Let me start from the where they just started at. You say, you know what? You're not a B word. You're not a N word. You're not a C word. You're not any curse word. You know what you are? And they say, what am I? You say, you're a foolish person. You're a fool. You're a simpleton, halfwit, dope, moron, dope, ninny, ass, blockhead, damn fool, nitwit, dimwit, nincompoop, jerk, dummy, dumbbell, boob, dunce, numbskull, cluck, asinine, stupid, empty headed, absurd, moronic, feeble minded, imbecile, stupidly, clumsily, or careless, ridiculous, rattlebrain, addle, dotish, half-witted, foolish, foolhardy, irrational, senseless, informal, dopey, nutty, crazy person. They'll look at you like, what? You see, so those words can't be tied into idiot. I think idiot should have stopped when it said that the person has a mind frame of 3 to 4 years old and it's an undeveloped mind. And just leave it at that. The tie in of what's synonymous to what could happen to an adult person, or that shouldn't be tied into it. That should be something else of itself. Or slang, at least pronounced as slang. And oh yeah, so I never found that last word I was looking for. And so that should pretty much conclude ignoramus, ignorum, ignoramus. Jim's quite knowledgeable, but pretends to be ignoramus. Simpleton, fool, dunce, know nothing, lowbrow, numbskull, nitwit, illiterate. Okay. Alright, so hey, that wraps that up, man. I put an hour in of educating. I did my part, and I'm happy that I did my part to educate the human mind and advance us forward in life. That's what it's about. Y'all take care.